Well, I think the thing you should realize is that really your diet is really your lifestyle. The way you eat should be, you should eat that way all the time. Your carbohydrate levels should be at around 65%, your protein levels at around 20%, fat levels around 20%. So you want to have more carbohydrates in your diet, but you should eat like that all the time. And the processed foods you take in are always going to be bad. You know what's bad for you. Fast food traditionally will not be good for you. You want to look for more natural, healthy foods in their natural state. Organic-based foods are usually a little better. And that should be the diet of just about every American these days, and that's what a driver should be eating. Well, I mean, our recommendation for our drivers is always to find, we're a big fan of fish. Fish is always going to be a better source of natural protein for you rather than meat or chicken. It's lower in fat, which is kind of the biggest benefit. So we tend to go in that direction. Vegetables are always going to be very good for you. Fruits, grains, natural grains are also going to be very, very good for you. And again, the more natural state you're going to have with the food. You can certainly get away with eating a cheeseburger, but maybe a smaller cheeseburger with some lean ground beef versus just hamburger. Instead of getting fries, maybe get some fruit or maybe get a small side salad. Everything in moderation. You can get away with having certain foods, and that's fine, but you can't overindulge in one specific area if it's unhealthy. That'll tend to catch up to you over time. Well, the best plan is to have a plan for race weekend, and as you had mentioned, choosing some of the foods that are offered at racetracks is not always the best option. A lot of fried foods, a lot of foods that are prepared previously and cooked and recooked over, that kind of a thing. Not the best fuel source, high in fat, low in natural ingredients. And it's better to kind of come up with a solution where you can bring your own food to the track. And there's a lot of options on the road. You can bring all sorts of pastas. You can bring pasta with some chicken in there. There are some frozen dishes that are very good for you and very healthy that you can bring to the track. You can bring nuts, grains, trail mix, energy bars. Every driver tends to have their own ritual that they follow, and what we suggest for a driver is to develop your ritual in the days and weeks leading up to race weekend. You really want to try to eat around the schedule race weekend. You want to start doing that a week or so beforehand so you get into a routine. Look at your race weekend schedule, know when you're in the car, time out your meals based on that. If you're going to get in the car, your main meal should probably take place at least 2 to 3 hours prior to the actual time you're in the car. From there, you can have small snacks. You can have some sort of protein and carbohydrate together. A bar, some yogurt with some fruit in it will be just fine. Your fluid needs should be taken days beforehand, so that you're taking in fluids as the days lead up to the race so your cells are properly hydrated. The best determination if you're properly hydrated is your urine. Urine should be very pale. If your urine has some sort of a gold tinge to it, then you probably are dehydrated and you want to take in more and more fluid to kind of counter that. You probably won't take in too much fluid. At some point it'll be uncomfortable. Water's a good source. Juices are okay, but they're high in calories and there's a lot of sugar. Sodas are not a good source, but really any kind of fluid into your system is going to be a benefit. Some are just better than the others. Choose a bottled water that you're consistent with, a brand that you buy anywhere. We advise against drivers taking in too much of local tap water for the simple reason that water systems around the country and the world are very different. The biggest thing is to experiment with what you're going to drink, what you're going to eat prior to the race. You don't want to spend race weekend as a lab, use it as a lab to try out something new. You want to try these things, the timing of the meals, what you're taking in, that kind of a thing leading up to the event. So that way you get a schedule in place so when you get to race weekend, your body does not go through some sort of disruption that causes gastrointestinal distress. It causes blood sugar levels to rise up and down because your meal timing now, you're not able to eat when you normally would eat, so your body's into a routine. Well, you're taking it out of its routine. It doesn't like that. So you want the fewest distractions possible on race weekend. Drivers tend to get busy. They have a lot of things going on, whether it's working in the car, autograph sessions, media, PR, team meetings, and they forget about eating and drinking. They have to have a rigid schedule they follow, and they have to adhere to that, and those around them have to adhere to that as well to get the maximum performance out of the driver. The best thing for a driver and any athlete after an event is to take in some sort of fairly high carbohydrate drink within 20 to 30 minutes of the end of the race. Some sort of a drink. You can buy something like Accelerate or Infinite Nutrition or Cytomax, or good athletic drinks that you can take in. Some of the drinks like Gatorade and Powerade tend to have a very high concentration of sugar. Not always the best source on a regular basis, but you can get away with something like that after the event. After about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you can start taking in a little more of a drink with some protein, carbohydrates, some food along the same lines, and that'll replenish the body and the fuel stores for the upcoming days.